Guys, I am super stoked to bring you this review today. Because number one, Tom Clancy material is always super fun to talk about, and I watched this film without one iota of remorse. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Please try harder on the puns next time. Challenge accepted. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to yet another brand new movie review, and as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. And this time around, we're looking at Without Remorse, the brand new Amazon Prime exclusive. This one was directed by Stefano Sollima, who brought you Sicario: Day of the Soldado most recently. It's also written by Taylor Sheridan, a guy who hardly ever misses. Think Sicario, Hell or High Water, Wind River. This guy knows what he's doing with the pen in his hand. And of course, it stars Michael B. Jordan, one of the best actors of our generation. I think we're off to a pretty good start here. But what's the premise? An elite Navy SEAL, played by Jordan, is seeking justice for the murder of his pregnant wife, which... oh dear. And along the way, he uncovers a covert plot that threatens to engulf the United States and Russia in an all-out war. So as most of you are aware by this point, the action genre is one of my personal favorites. And unfortunately, we've been pretty unlucky over recent years with some true stinkers in the genre. But every so often, you'll get a film like Without Remorse that'll remind you why you love action films. Because movies like Without Remorse are super badass and tons of fun to watch. And a big reason why this movie is so fun to watch is the action itself. The stunt work that went into this film is absolutely astounding to me. Even though I'm sure a lot of these fights were choreographed, it never felt that way to me. The fighting felt raw. It gave the movie a very gritty undertone. The score that goes along with it feels super heavy, and I dug the crap out of all of it. Without Remorse technically is a great film on that side. And speaking of, this direction and the cinematography to go along with it also rock solid. The way Stefano Sollima handles these action sequences never feels overbearing or distracting from the brutal nature of these showdowns. Now, I've actually heard some people nitpick that this film may have been too dark, too grim, like they couldn't really see much. And I can definitely see where they're coming from, and when you watch this film, the lighting design definitely feels like it was a more lacking department. As in, there were lots of scenes that felt more darkened than they needed to be. But I'll also provide the counter argument that this is a very grim story with some dark circumstances behind it. So heck, the dark lighting may have been a stylistic choice. Michael B. Jordan really is the light that shines through the darkness, guys. He's not only super badass in these action sequences, as he should be, but there's also moments where he can be super charismatic, and then on a dime, he can switch to intensely grief-stricken. And I could really feel the pain he was going through in any given moment, both physically and emotionally. Michael B. Jordan's range is truly unbelievable, and he proves it once again with Without Remorse. I feel like every project I see this guy in, I'm never seeing an actor. I'm always seeing him embody this character. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the true mark of a genius actor. Seriously, Michael B. Jordan really can do no wrong. Not to be overlooked, though, is this surprisingly stacked supporting cast behind him. Jodie Turner-Smith is a lot of fun to watch in this one, with some super powerful moments in her own right. Jamie Bell is really good. Colman Domingo does some more nice work here. I was super happy to see him. And Guy Pearce, still one of the most underappreciated actors in Hollywood, gives such an amazing performance here. Even though he's playing another man-in-the-suit type antagonist, it never really feels like a Marvel trope with this one. And even though Without Remorse truly has a lot working for it, it doesn't mean Without Remorse is sitting there without its remorseful flaws. Unfortunately, my biggest issue with this film is a big one: the story. Now, I understand that these Tom Clancy movies are based off of famous books, so this is kind of something that's out of the filmmaker's control. But number one, this movie could often fall into the prose trap that I've alluded to in previous reviews. You know, where the actors aren't even fully convinced of what they're saying even 100%. You know, like they were going into too much detail and it never really feels like real dialogue. It's not like every single piece of dialogue is like that though, but you can tell there's certainly moments where it's very noticeable. But we gotta talk more about this story, guys. Did it really have to be this complicated? I mean, this guy's pregnant wife was murdered. If this was all about him going after vengeance for that, I think I would have liked this movie a lot more. I mean, there's even a point where one character tells Michael B. Jordan, This shouldn't be a revenge mission. Justice should be enough. And I think the key to a movie like Without Remorse is simplicity. And simple it wasn't. Oh no, you gotta get a government conspiracy involved. Not to say that this spy espionage stuff isn't cool or anything, but this just feels like a movie that could have gone about its main conflict with a lot more simplicity. I think this should have been just a pure revenge flick where he's out for blood to get the ones who killed his family. But instead, it's a movie that feels like it's beating around the bush a lot until the very end. Despite a pretty clumsy story, the action is still super exciting, it's directed super well, and Michael B. Jordan, as I've alluded to, continues to prove why he's one of the most skilled actors alive right now. Clearly, there's still a lot to like regardless of its flaws. I'm gonna give Without Remorse a B. Even though it's not necessarily the movie I was wanting, I still had a lot of fun with it. I think fans of the novels and fans of Tom Clancy especially will really get a kick out of this, but even for more casual viewers like me, the action sequences are still super fun to watch, all while you have some really cheesy dialogue and really kick-ass acting. But this is all just my opinion, of course. What did you guys think of Without Remorse? Do you agree with me? Do you not? What is your guys' favorite Tom Clancy story? Is it this one? Is it another one? As you guys know, I love making these videos and starting the discussion with you guys about cinema and all things entertainment, so let's continue the discussion further down in the comments, shall we? And if these are topics that sound appealing to you, if you guys want to keep up to date and continue discussing the cinema and all things entertainment with me, if I were you, I'd definitely consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. You guys will be the first ones to know anytime a new upload hits the channel if you do so, and it's also free. And guys, just one last reminder, if you enjoyed the review, be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. That would be much appreciated. And as always, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. You guys are the best. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!